Yeah. Alright. You guys need to kind of fill me in on the audio. So like if it's too low, just let me know. I'm just getting the this thing figured out. Hope it's a buff to killers. I highly doubt that there will even be a single buff to killer mentioned anywhere in this. If Markiplier isn't in this Five Nights at Freddy's chapter, I swear to God. Markiplier is so like synonymous with Five Nights at Freddy's. Gergando, how's it going? We are hate watching the stream, guys. Michael Afton going D-man. Irma 130 movement speed. Yeah. Thankfully didn't get banned. Well, you never know. The ban might come later and then it'll be over. I just don't understand why behavior refuses to use the kill switch for those things. It's so weird. Patrick, the infamous game developer who like blocked me even though I never messaged him directly ever. Very interesting. You got banned. No. This is like the third countdown they've had. There was like a countdown to the countdown to the countdown. Hockey is equal to DVD apparently. You know, Patrick was wrong about that because we all know that DVD is equal to chess. Good thing he quit out of shame. The only thing Patrick ever did for Dead by Daylight was voice Death Slinger. Everything else I think was a failure. He also gave us Dead Dog Saloon though, so that's pretty terrible. It's like hockey. He literally dropped MMR and then left. Yeah, he kind of had like a gun studio vibe, you know, like he didn't handle criticism very well, that guy. So he had to get it out of the space. Like some devs just don't give a shit, which I guess is probably the healthiest thing, even though it's not healthy. Like you should care, but obviously you can't take everything people say like to heart, because if you do, then you'll just get pissy and upset. There's just way too many opinions, and there's always going to be more negative opinions than positive opinions about things. Yeah, Twins is a great goalie. Kind of like wished Dowsey wouldn't have quit. That was weird. Man, makes sense-ish, I suppose, but you need more content creators that are willing to like call stuff out and just like not worry about the consequences of it. But like, you know, like serious people, like some people just like live to be negative about everything, so they kind of become like a stereotype, and you don't even really pay that much attention to their opinions anymore. You need like people that just are willing to say when things are good and bad. You beginning to think that the Ghoul is overrated? We'll see how many more nerfs they give him before they're finally done. 75% of the dev stream will be a snooze fest, and the other 25% will be cringe. Dude, whatever they announce for slugging, let's just see if we can like turn it around. Like, let's see how fast, yeah, like as a live reaction, if they announce it today, how fast we can like say it's what it's gonna lead to, right? Have you noticed the Nemesis bug is M1 doesn't use the tokens, so player review doesn't lose tokens? Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. Why is everyone saying it's play with your food if it's cool? I haven't actually done it or anything, I've just heard it, but like every single time it's mentioned, it's play with your food. Can't wait till they take question it's only about the store. Oh no, not another ad for the casting of Garbage Stone. This game was terrible, by the way. I paid full price for it. I even got like the special edition. It was like $70 or something. I bought it day one, and I was just like so disappointed because I played all of their games, and this one was really, really bad. It was super linear. Yeah, a horrible structure, terrible, terrible story, terrible writing. All the endings were the same. I couldn't think. Who's the developer that makes those games? I forget. It's like Supermassive or something like that. They've made really good games, but that one was not it. Telltale has like a new game coming out, right? The Wolf Among Us 2. I'm just not sure how many of the same original people are involved. Super flop recently. Yeah, they're very hit and miss. I don't really recommend playing their games, like, or paying for their games at full price. Because, like, Until Dawn is really good. The Quarry is terrible. It's better than the casting of Frank Stone, though. The casting of Frank Stone was atrocious. Like, if it wasn't in the Dead by Daylight universe, it would have been despicable. Stream is stuttering. All right, let me over on Twitch, you're probably gonna have to refresh it. Let me try to fix this. All right, so yeah, on Twitch, just refresh the stream in like a minute. All right, let me know if that fixed it. Sire, much appreciated for growing some muttons. Sound is crazy douche for you? If it's too low when they start talking, just let me know and I can turn it up. I have a feeling that their voices will be a bit low. Bro, is there gonna be like another countdown now? Countdown number 16? Ed Hard, much appreciated for growing some muttons. You know what? Hold on one second. This. Looking a little buggy, whatever's going on there, but I accept it. Here we go, guys. Is this a pre-recorded stream? This one should actually be live. What if they said the word Troy on stream? Will never happen unless they talk about all the liars in the community. Is Troy noticing our comments here? Yeah, I can see him.
Very strong focus on quality of life.
I found Dead by Daylight and instantly it became a home. Thank you.
Thank all of you.
Up the volume? Okay, I thought so. It should be something like maybe like here, I would think, because this is usually what I use when I do like screen recordings. But let me know if this is too loud. Alright, so we got, oh, we're going through all the license. Okay, just Konami on like interesting. So there's gonna be some things. They'll probably also talk about the Witcher like the DLC coming to the game.
Hi.
Cosmetic DLC.
Folks, we got a show for you. They're still coming.
Oh yeah.
That
Come on in. There's still room.
I wonder who's in the
back
the
there.
audience
Oh, wow.
there.
Hi.
So in the biz, they call that a hype trailer. Seems that it worked. I felt pretty hype coming out of that. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for Dead by Daylight's 9th anniversary live stream spectacular from PAX East in Boston, Massachusetts.
All right, now make them play against Korean players.
This is one of my favorite events
That's
every
killer.
year, but I haven't been here
I
for
know,
a good
Urban. I was thinking the
decade.
same thing.
What's happening? I don't. Oh, is the unknown? Is the unknown here?
Nice trash.
It's a great event. I used to live in Boston, Massachusetts. But
No
for
more
some reasons
skill-based
out of our
matchmaking?
control,
Yeah,
we
that'd be
haven't
nice.
come for a number of years.
Yeah.
There was a global thing that happened.
Yeah. But yeah, PAX has always been very special
Yeah.
for us. It's not only is it an amazing place to be, it's just awesome to be with our people here, but it's where it all began for us, right?
It is.
9 years ago, we had the smallest little booth you can get in the corner there, and then we showed our little game to people. We didn't have much back then. We were a team of 30 people. We had a dream. We had stars in our eyes.
Look
All
at
those
that.
people have been fired
Wowzers.
now.
Oh, Jiminy Jillikers. But we had this little gem of a game, you know, this strange asymmetrical multiplayer game where
I wonder
four
if they're gonna
people
try
are
to
trying
make a bid
escape
for
a
Fortnite
nightmare while
players in
someone is
here.
trying to murder them all. And somehow it resonated. People understood what we were bringing, and it worked.
It worked indeed. And you know what? We
Freaking
dove
by
right into
daylight.
it. If no one knows, you should be ashamed. But this man right here, his name is Matt Cote, our head of partnerships on Dead by Daylight. And my name's Eric Pope. I'm the community director on Dead by Daylight, and I'm very happy you're here.
Why are people
So
getting
as Matt
falsely
was
banned,
saying,
Pope?
PAX specifically
Talk about
is very important to DBD. And Matt, I don't know if you know this, we've gone back to the archives, not those archives.
Martin Luther King
Our
confirmed.
archives. We've gone back to our archives. Calm down. And we found a little clip of Matt from the very first one. So why don't we roll that?
How many killers, how many survivors are you hoping to add? A lot more, or?
Yes, many, many more. The idea has always been when you start the game, you don't know who you're up against, you don't know what powers are going to be facing you, you don't know which map you're going to be in, and the other survivors, you don't know what abilities and perks and whatnot they're going to bring.
Well,
That's
easy
crazy.
enough. You do now.
Not sure what.
They're just
what's
going to
up
bring
with
the
my
best stuff
eyebrows
every
back
time,
there.
and they're also going to bring a map offering for the best map every
2016
time
eyebrows are very
too.
bushy. I love it. So I like to think the
Turn
team delivered
ads
on what you
off?
said.
I don't even know if that's
and,
po-
now we
yeah,
are
Twitch
in a place
doesn't
where
let
we have
you.
38 killers.
YouTube lets you.
Sorry, 38 survivors.
But, yeah, Twitch doesn't.
45 Jesus, I have it backward.
They
38
literally
killers,
don't let
45
you.
survivors, and
You either have to get
a billion
Twitch
perks.
Pro
About
or
a
whatever the
billion
hell it's
perks,
called, or you have to
and so
subscribe.
many really, really awesome licenses that came to join us over the years.
Yeah, so I think you have always said it's kind of a love letter to the 70s and 80s horror movies that we all love.
Here's the
what really
killer's
kicked it
dirtiest
off on
across the map.
Partners licensing side was Mr. Michael Myers, right?
Yes, Halloween.
Adblock turns
There
off
are a
ads.
few here,
Adblocks
I believe.
have a harder time
Halloween
these
was the very
days.
first time we brought in some legends of horror.
I gave up. I just
many more
got
followed
YouTube
after
Premium.
that.
Yeah,
I
Leatherface,
watch YouTube like
Chucky,
all day anyway.
Alien.
Ghostface,
Felt like worth
Stranger
it
Things,
more over
Ash
like
from
all the
Evil
other
Dead.
streaming services.
and on.
Yes, and on it rolls.
Yeah, one of the big
Bubba dancing
milestones
over the
for us
ads.
was
I don't
probably
think I
like
can.
Silent Hill. Silent Hill was the very first time we had a video
Dead Hard,
game
you got
chapter,
some good,
and for us, it meant quite a lot because
like,
Silent Hill
Adblock.
and Resident Evil specifically
I
were
had a
games
good
that
one, but they got detected
inspired
and I
a
gave
lot of
up.
us on the team to make video games, right? They were with us
Yeah,
when we were
Box, I
young,
got
and
an ad.
being able to work with these people to create something in our game that they were proud of, that they thought their fans would enjoy, was so validating.
It's
and
not even
humbling,
OG Fred.
honestly.
Yeah, I
should do
know.
more
They
with
jumped ship on that one. I think that was the issue.
I'm just saying, that's my opinion.
know,
Just a
they
guy's
had an
opinion. I just
opportunity,
realized,
which I
by the way, I wanna
understand. They
apologize to
wanted
this
to,
half of
like,
the room,
jump
'cause I'm
on
just
it,
looking over
but
here at Matt.
They
Okay,
probably
I'm
would have been
looking
better
at
off
them.
waiting
Hi,
later, getting the real Freddy.
Yeah, you get Matt's face, which is better in the end anyway. Or you can look at me up there. Sorry. So yeah, iconic licenses, Matthew. It's a nice segue actually to our show today. We've made add another or some.
Yes.
Well, then let's, without further ado,
Yeah, what are we
dive into
gonna
the
talk
run of
about today?
show to tell you what we're actually going to talk about instead of Matt and I just rambling. So if you want to put that up on the screen, we're going to kick things off. Whenever you want, with Jose and
Ooh,
Justin
we're starting
to talk
straight up with the
about
quality of life
upcoming
updates. My
content
heart
roadmap,
actually dropped seeing
as well
that
as
quality of life
quality of life
updates.
updates.
Because we all know that their quality of life
Stop
updates so far have been dog shit. They've just made the game worse. Like, it's just like
After that,
going to a
Dave
dentist
and I
appointment
will
or
be
something.
back to give you more details on the next chapter, which is,
Sorry
of
for
course,
your
Five Nights at
wallet.
Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
What?
Please.
What? They said it could never happen.
They said we shouldn't do it.
We're doing it. Doing it live. After that, we've got fan favorite Rosalie to introduce you to some amazing upcoming collections that are coming
The
to the
upcoming
game.
collections is where they're going to talk about the Witcher DLC coming.
And then my favorite, Dave.
I wonder who Geralt's going to take over.
Oh, that's not.
Dave is coming back after that.
Victoria
and he's gonna
or
tell you
maybe
about,
David? It should
another
probably
one of our
a free
original
character,
chapters
so
that we're gonna
probably
do that
David.
has a major twist.
It's a little
to it.
spoiled on the picture right there. It says
Yep.
choose your own chapter, but just pretend you don't know what it means.
Pretend you can't read.
Choose your
So I
own
think that's
chapter.
enough. We can get things
That
rolling
sounds
now.
really
Thank you,
silly.
Matt.
I don't know
Leave.
what that's gonna be.
What?
I'm just gonna leave now.
Well, but he's going to come back. Don't worry. Matt,
I'll be back.
Matt's not done with the show by a long shot. Thank you, Matt.
Have fun.
What if he tripped?
And now we'll welcome Justin Brown and Jose Ramos. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Oh God,
Hello,
here it
everyone.
is, guys. Clench your cheeks.
Jose is our executive producer on Dead by Daylight. He's a vice president as well, for people who care about that sort of thing. Justin is our senior director of product management. If you don't know what that means, he cares a ton about the game, actually. He's kind of one of the main people that my team talks to from the community team to help make changes happen in the game. And so that's why they're here, because yes, we have the content roadmap that we're going to talk about, which is cool and new stuff.
So
but
these
also,
guys are just like
more
hardcore
importantly to me,
Survivor mains,
quality of
right?
life.
Because
Quality
they
of life
literally
initiative couldn't have
for like
happened
the
without
last
these
like
guys.
year haven't
Yes, absolutely.
considered a single
It is
change to
one
the
way to
game
do
from
my very
those
first
killers'
live stream, so
perspective.
that's
Like
pretty
at
amazing.
all, it's only been the
Thank you.
the Survivor
Thank you.
perspective that they pay attention to.
I will tell my kids that there were 12,000 people also. That's something like that. So yeah, as you said, I think
They
we
look
want to
like
give you
Survivor
a sneak peek
bands.
of our content roadmap leading us to the 10th year anniversary, which is crazy just to say it. We will also give you an update on our quality of life efforts, as you mentioned, something incredibly important for us, hopefully for you. And
Like
we'll make sure
we
to
say
give
that
you all
they
the
don't play
details.
often, but they always claim they
Of course,
play
and
like
before we
1,000
dive in, I
hours
just
a
wanna give a
month or
quick shout out,
something.
a thank you to the
It's
incredible
just-
Dead by Daylight
Yeah.
team back home. It is because of their hard work and passion that we're able to deliver this content and this quality, year after year.
Shout out to the DVD team.
Yeah, it should be Jose.
Watching while they
Patrick's in
work.
hockey
I hope.
training. He's making NHL
So,
2026.
Sorry, that's loud. I told everyone they can go to quiet mic. I'm very loud. Why don't we talk about some of the highlights? Of the
Almost
past year,
making
Jose,
camping
real quick?
simulator.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of highlights, of course. I think the main focus was to bring things that you have waited for many, many, many years. I think the main
Way
one, of
too
course,
long.
is 2v8. So
Bro.
bringing 2v8 to life.
We've waited
was
way too
something that
long for quality
we
of
really
life.
wanted to achieve.
The simplest shit.
Progression is something that also you waited for a very long time, and that now you can have. From a content standpoint, I think between Vecna, Dracula, Killer
haven't
with
showed
a Dog,
anything yet.
but also the very most recent chapter that we released with Tokyo Ghoul was one of the most popular chapter ever, really, that we have had, and it was quite amazing for us.
And I think you're a big anime fan, so you probably felt.
Yeah, and honestly, not only that, but the way we
This
managed
is
to bring the anime
roadmap
into
and
the
quality of
outside
life,
DVD, I
so
think the team
I
made
assume
really
they're
an
gonna
amazing job. Yeah, that was
Just
really,
kind
really
of
cool.
go
Shout out to
between
our
them.
anime fans.
He was super popular, so we
Our anime
nerfed him,
fans in Boston,
3 times.
Massachusetts.
and we're not done yet.
Thank you for indulging me.
But also, this chapter gave us a chance, an excuse to travel to Japan for the first time in a very long time. It was long overdue. I think Dave, Matt, and the rest of the team spent really quality time with them, and that's really what we want to do a bit more. Spending time with our community, going to events like
do
this
it.
one, and more to come. We were in Scotland recently. We were in Sao Paulo for Gamescom.
More bugs and new
that
content?
time
Let's
just
hope
last
not.
week.
There's already
And
so
again,
many.
We will be there.
It's
in
hard
more
to just
events to
find a
come.
killer that works properly.
And to not confuse you, actually, we did release another chapter after Tokyo Ghoul just this week with the unshakable EMT Orela Rose, which is very cool.
Imagine if they gave Blight that
Though
same
I imagine
nerf.
most of you have seen it
Maybe they
already,
will.
we're still going to take just a minute to watch her amazing trailer. So,
Oh, we're watching this again.
I got you.
I actually haven't watched this yet. This is the first I've skipped it every single time. I just didn't like the art style of it. It bored me for whatever reason. I wanted CGI.
This cannot possibly be real.
My God, Mia's fucking buff. What the hell? Mia just came out of the fog looking like
My name
she's
is Orela.
like
I'm here to help.
Rhea Ripley or something. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Show shit, won't see what sticks. That seems like the asymmetrical dev handbook.
We got to do a lot of fun teasers
the entity
for Orela, so it was
confirmed.
really cool to see people kind of fall in love with her before they even knew who she was. So we know people like teasers. We've heard that, so we're going to try to keep doing more teasers in the future. So thank you. And one last thing about Orela. Actually, I think you see it on the screen right now. Very, very, very happy we're able to do this. We're running a charity initiative right now based on Orela.
They screwed up a little bit because they had this like charity event, but they accidentally let their like skins be bought with iridescent shards for like
until the 27th
a
of
week
May.
or something. So a bunch of people bought the skins with iridescent shards, and now they can't like support the charity.
Outfits in the game with orc cells, please, orc cells, and 100% of the proceeds are going to that amazing foundation, which was important to us.
She's
it's a
super
local one in
popular.
Montreal.
I've had a Rose in like almost every match I've played. Super popular.
Thank you. We actually have a twist coming up in that campaign too. Stay tuned. Orela marks the last release of the year 9
Orela.
calendar. So we're going to dive in now.
Wasn't
to
sure
the
how to
year
say that.
10 calendar, Justin.
That's right, and this is the time when I try to bite my tongue and not give you guys any spoilers. Sorry.
Here we go.
I will say we have 5 chapters. 3 will be licensed, 2 will be original. Of course, the next chapter you guys already know. It's Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a killer and a map, but Dave and Matt are going to be up to talk way more about that just after us. We're going to follow that up with another licensed chapter that will feature 2 iconic survivors.
Yeah, they need to make her
who they are
louder.
today, but
She's
you guys are
definitely a
gonna
little
love
bit
it,
pay to
for
win.
sure.
The
And then
quietest
finally, we're
survivor
gonna
I've
end the
ever heard in my
summer with an
life.
original chapter, the first one of the year.
Maybe that's why so many people
It's
are
going to
playing
be on
as
one
her
of our
for
favorite
advantage
themes,
because
which
I'm
is
at high
folklore,
MMR.
Asian horror folklore specifically, and is going to be one of the most gruesome chapters we've ever released. So we cannot wait. To get it in your
Jeez.
hands.
Okay.
It's messy. It's gory.
Very messy. We will close out the
gory
year with
Asian
one big
chapter.
licensed
What
chapter
would
with
that
not
be?
1 but 2 survivors.
Probably not
And the
Juan,
last
right?
one is actually very interesting. It's a very special chapter. You see there is no killer in there, and that's because there will be a survivor, but also a new realm that we know you are going to love. I wish I could spoil more.
So in
It's not
July
yet
we're
there,
getting 2 new
but we will
survivors. That
talk
means
about
6
it,
new
in the
perks.
future.
Oof.
And there will also be a twist on an existing killer. So the point also of this is because killer requires so much effort, we again want to give enough space and room to the team to be able to work on those quality of life elements.
twist on an
That's very
existing
important
killer.
for
Can
us
we
that,
get
you know,
old school Freddy,
we kind of
please?
focus on that.
Yes, which thank you for the wonderful segue, Jose. So for some of you, of course, the
That's a
content
lot of
is what
content,
drives you and
dude.
excites you,
That's a lot
new
of content.
that
Holy
comes to
shit.
DBD. But I also think for a lot of you, and myself included, who I
feel like
the community every day, the quality of the game,
That's a
quality
lot
of
of
health of the
content.
game is just as important as the new stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about now. Like I
just
said
as
earlier, I'm
important.
really psyched that this is being prioritized. As Jose just mentioned, we've even taken the decision here and there to.
I don't think
adjust
they could fix the
schedule of
bugs, bro.
year's
Like I
releases
actually think
based
it's over.
around
They had
doing
their
more work on quality of
they
life.
delayed content for quality of
So,
life, and all they did
Jose,
was
why
make
don't
like
you
1,000
take it
more
away?
bugs.
Yeah.
At this point,
So again,
I kind of just
success
don't
of
even know.
DBD
I think we just
is
have to go
about the
through it,
community.
and they just need to start
And
using
so
the kill
this year, what
switch,
we
and
really
we'll just see
want
what
is to
version of the game we come out
get
with on
all
the other
that
side.
feedback, to have more conversation than ever, to apply that feedback and to improve the overall experience of DBD.
Imagine they
We think,
announced
and
the
we're going
currency
to show with some
system.
details that we have made great progress, but that doesn't
And then
mean
they
that
say
we are
choice
not
and we
going to
leave
meet
the game
some hiccups.
developer.
The last release that we just had, we know has brought bugs on some of the killers, and that's something that we want to react very quick on. There is a lot more to come that, again, we are going to give a lot of details on.
Yeah, and just to mention on this week's release, maybe a little rocky, we are holding our hot fix schedule a couple extra days so we can get more fixes into it. Still coming next week, hoping to fix as many of the bumps in the road that we ran across with this week's release.
Of course. And if you watched the live streams over
Preparing
the last
myself.
couple of years, this is the moment when I would usually tell you about the 4 pillars we based our roadmap on. But this year, we're doing things differently. It's all around one central North Star, which is to make sure that Dead by Daylight is respecting our players' time. And so all of our focus is really about delivering on that promise to you guys as the players.
Yes, and actually I want to mention we've already started rolling out the quality of life stuff. The first major feature of it was the abandoned feature, which went out last release. It was pretty well received. We got also a lot of great feedback on how we can tweak it to be even better. So it's been a cool way to kick off the initiative with a big feature that helps to address some issues.
Of course, and the most recent release, I mean, despite some of the issues that you know are already there,
Well
we did
received.
fix critical issues. The skill check release window, which had been sort of a flag for a long time, finally resolved. The unhook spam exploit resolved. We also finally added perk previews, which we had tested a long time ago. Not to be confused with seeing your survivor teammates perks, which is something we'll do later in the year as well.
What?
And then the
They're
sort
gonna
of
do it?
controversial
Oh
quest
my
system,
God.
We do plan on monitoring that. The intention is
Okay.
never to make it more grindy.
That's a
In
big
fact, it should be the
announcement. It's
opposite.
just
If
very
anything,
subtly
we're gonna
dropped.
look at the numbers. We're
You're gonna be able to
which tweaks
see
we have
your
to make on the
teammates'
quest
builds.
system. But we're really
Oof.
happy that you can finally make progress on more than one quest.
We'll see
in
how
a
that
match.
goes.
In addition to removing that awkward pain point you've probably all experienced where you load into a match and then say, oh no, I already completed my last quest, now I can't make any progress on any quest in this match. So that's finally removed and resolved with this new quest system.
Cool.
The new
we've
quest
got an
system
asset we
feels
put up on the
very
screen to help us for the next section.
disconnected, in my opinion.
Yes.
There it is.
So a bunch of stuff in that screen. I'm not going to go through it all, but a few ones that I really want to highlight is everything you see in blue. So in green is what we have released. In blue is what is going to actually be released just in June. So very, very soon around the corner. And a few ones that I wanted to highlight. One is
So
for
we're not
example, the
getting more
gamma city.
anti-slugging
We know that
yet?
it can be tough when it comes to the darkness level of some map, and being able, especially for console players, to be able to deal with those gamma settings is again going to go a long way. The gun X prevention is quite important. Encouraging survivors to not give up at first hook is really something that we want to fix and improve. And one last one, sorry, that I wanted to discuss a bit more in details is the bulk blood point spending. I was watching the stream of one of my favorite content creators just a few days ago with the release of Orela. She was super excited, saved millions and dozens of millions of blood points. And it takes a while. It takes a long time to spend those blood points. So being able to spend them in a matter of a few seconds is, I think, again, a small step for DBD.
A small step, bro. I spent like 3 hours a week spending
This is how we
blood
find
points
out
in
I'm
this
not
game,
your
if not
favorite
more.
content creator? Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. No, that's great. I've had a few people come to the booth here at PAX just talking about the bulk blood point spending too. So glad that that's almost here.
Almost there. Oh yeah, and no, actually there is another one, which is custom game improvements. So this one is actually, for me, a cool story. Is we had
Custom match, yeah.
Custom
It's just-
matches.
Can you move the mic? You move the mic when you talk. I want to make sure everyone hears Jose. Custom match improvements.
Custom match improvement. Yes, we had a really great conversation with tournament organizers, with some content creators, in order to understand what they really wanted. And the list was really good, but then we asked, but what is the top priority that you have? Because we want to make sure that we will be quick to deliver on this. And we have identified those, and they wanted to move from 1 spectator slot to 5 spectator slots. They wanted to have hotkeys to be able to shift pretty easily from one player to another, and we are going to bring those things right into this June release as well. So happy to go fast on this one.
Yeah, and of course, that's not where we're going to end with custom match. That's just what we're delivering in June. In the future, throughout the year, we're going to add more customization options to custom match, including the ability to start selecting limited time event modes in custom match specifically, which will be very cool.
What about 2v8? Can that be in custom
And
match too?
Yes, it will include 2v8 in custom.
Oh, yeah.
Custom 2v8. Nobody has that many friends.
Dave liked that one. Or maybe that was Matt. So we built this list. My team got to be really involved in building this list based on your feedback that we've seen out in the community over years, some of these things. And we're going to continue doing that. So continue giving us your feedback, even as they release, like the abandoned feature. We know you don't get it one and done. We want to iterate and make them as good as they can be. So keep that up.
Like
It's not
the
just lip
abandoned
service. Your
feature.
feedback is super, super important. So thank you for that. And now, phase 2. We've already talked about stuff
True,
that
people only do
generally knew
2v8
about.
with their viewers,
Now we can get
probably,
into
right?
the second half of our quality of life initiative.
Yeah, of course. And so phase 2 is meant to take us through to the end of the year and even beyond. And we are going to deliver a little bit more than we had even previously communicated on. So I guess I'll give it to Jose to tell us a bit more.
Yes. So the first thing that you can see on the screen, all the measures that we want to take in order to improve camping, slugging, tunneling, we will actually give you more details in the coming weeks and in the coming months. We want to do it right. It's something that we want to carefully craft, and we want to also discuss more with our community and our content creators to make sure, again, we do it right. There is things like the keyboard and mouse support that we are going to bring actually in the summer. along with balance changes for map and keys that you are going to give us more details on.
Right, so map and keys, for the longest time, we've had 5 survivor items, of which only 2, maybe 3 have felt relevant. There's
Here's to
been these
go.
2
I'm telling you, it's a buff.
Sort of,
It's a buff.
semi-relevant map and key items for a long time.
Instead
We
of
wanted to give
nerfing medkits
survivors a big
and
update. We always update
with
killers.
flashlights.
We don't do a lot for survivors. We're going to change that. Map are going to change to be basically a consumable version of Windows of Opportunity, if you can imagine that, which is very cool. And then keys are going to focus on revealing the killer's aura. They will still open the hatch.
God.
And there's also going to be some new
Fuck
gameplay related
off.
to the chests that the keys take.
Ooh.
That's disgusting, bro. I hate this
This
so
next one's
much.
also going to be an ooh.
Yeah, I guess so. So, in addition to bug fixes, there's a bunch of things we're super excited to tackle. The first,
Maps are
probably the
fine.
biggest,
Keys
is an
are
MMR
fine. We
revamp.
don't
We've been
need to
hearing you
change them.
guys
They're
complain about
literally
it for a long
fine.
time.
Just
We
because
really
other
wanna
things are
focus on making
broken,
sure that
overpowered, doesn't
MMR
mean you need to
takes into
fucking.
account the actions you take in a game and how you play, as opposed to the current black and white, just survive and kill. So that's going to be a really big change coming to MMR. We've heard it. We're excited to deliver that. We're going to
MMR revamp, people.
Great.
If you don't know what that means, it's matchmaking ranking, and it'll help with matchmaking when we fix that.
Yeah. For the first time,
Are you gonna hide it, or are you gonna
in an
show us
update,
what you're
we're
doing?
going to introduce a new survivor item this summer.
Why don't you
which will
even
be
say
very
it if
cool,
you're gonna
regular
hide
core.
it?
It'll be exciting. Of course, we're bolstering our anti-cheat measures because that's always a problem. We're going to start showing you queue time, estimated queue time, which we don't do right now, which will be great this summer. And as much as we all love 2v8, we all know that there's one very, very, very big problem with 2v8, and that's how long you have to wait as a killer.
Please
to get
announce
into a
priority
match,
queue.
12, 13,
It's
14
the only
minutes
solution, guys.
Not on the next iteration, but the one coming in the summer, we're going to introduce a play while you queue feature. So you can queue up as killer. While you're queued up as killer, you can play matches as survivor in 2v8. While you wait, it'll hold your spot in line. You come back to the lobby, and you're ready to queue up as your killer. So you don't have to just sit there and look
Very
at the lobby
interesting
screen
way
for
to
12,
approach
13,
it.
14
It's kind
minutes.
of like a priority queue, but
Just a note on that, that's
it's
coming very
just
soon.
more complex, actually. So, yeah, that's cool.
It's coming very soon, but not in the next iteration of 2v8, which is even ultra soon. So the next 2v8.
So the
Just so
coming
your
up 2v8 is going to be Ghostface and Oni, and then the one
okay,
after that maybe
one
Pyramid
last
Head
thing
and
we do need to
Dracula,
wrap,
right?
I got the wrap it up
the
signal
Konami
about 5
2v8.
times now. If you're a content creator in the audience, we also have some quality of life for you. We are overhauling the Dead by Daylight creator program completely.
Oh my god, am I going to get a Twitch shirt?
And that's going to include what's called a support a creator system, which maybe you know from other video games. It allows you to support your favorite creator. The idea is that be a wide way for pretty much any deserving creator to be able to work with us, get stuff from us, and get rewarded. So stay tuned. We're going to talk a lot more about that.
This is why people
in
glaze
our
the
next
devs, by the way.
broadcast later this month or next month. And I do need to wrap up now, guys. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
you want to say?
Thanks, everyone.
Fortnite.
I think
They're turning maps into
I think some people
a
here
consumable
wanna hear
Windows of
about Five Nights at
Opportunity item that I
Freddy's.
guess you eat. You dip it in water and swallow it. And then the key is just
we are
becoming
gonna
something
let
that shows you the
happen
killer's
and
aura.
bring out Dave and Matt
Sounds
to
fun,
tell you
right?
all about it. Thank you,
Goodbye,
everybody.
like maps and keys. Two completely original fine items, but they're not as strong as medkits and flashlights, so they decided they needed to turn them into something super hard meta, ultra cringe. So now survivors basically get an extra perk instead of needing to bring windows, and yeah,
Hello, PAX.
they get permanent object of obsession on you.
Isn't it
Sounds
awesome
great,
to be back
right?
here?
It's amazing to be back here. It's nice to see you, even though I don't see quite well. It's nice to see you in person. Also, hi to everybody watching us online. And shout out to all the cosplayer. I've seen some of them. They're amazing. Especially
Is that like,
Mr. Unknown.
did he have like an eye
Amazing.
procedure, or
But
is
I don't
that
see
like
anything.
something to do with like a license that I'm not?
All right.
Or
So,
like-
of course,
yeah, I
being
don't
here is pretty special, and we're here. It's perfect that we're here.
Is he
announce
cosplaying? Yeah, I'm not
to
sure,
reveal
right?
A little bit more of our top requested, of all time of the history of Dead by Daylight, the top requested license.
Yeah, so Five Nights at Freddy is our next chapter, as we've said. It is one of those crazy games. It's such an amazing story. They released about 10 years ago, just like we did. It was one of the first little indie horror games. Today, it is
French-Canadian.
a gigantic behemoth of a game and universe, actually. And we are thrilled to have Five Nights at Freddy's universe finally come into the fog.
So of course, the team has had a blast creating this chapter. It's such an amazing universe to explore. And I just wanted to say, really
An eye
quickly
surgery?
that, you know,
Okay.
we do
So maybe he just had like
survey
it, but he
our community
decorated
to
it a little
know
bit
what
so that it
people want out
it
of
looked cool.
licenses and content, and we listen to it.
Understandable.
And Five Nights at Freddy's has been the top of the list for the longest time.
Yep.
So finally, it's here.
So what are we doing with Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah. Okay. So let's start and reveal our new killer.
Yeah.
Let's show that bad boy.
Is that Choi?
You like that?
There'll be more. They'll 100% be showing a lot more.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. So I guess we made the right choice. Yeah, it was obvious to us too. Of course, Springtrap is the ultimate villain of the series, and for the first time ever, you'll be able to be in the suit. Isn't that amazing?
When this is
You'll
over,
be the
we're
killer.
gonna
You'll be
compare what the
He
devs
will
have
be known
done
as
to
the
what the
animatronic
community
in the
concept
Yes.
team did like
So,
8 years ago and
the
see which is
animatronic,
better.
Today we won't go into the power or the perks.
What?
Yeah, we're not revealing. We're not revealing. a
Why would
lot,
you not reveal
but,
that at PAX, guys?
we'll
Oh my,
show
boring.
some screenshots later, and if you watch
Oh my
closely, you
God.
might see something.
They're
very
actually not
interesting.
showing
We're
anything
adding,
else.
On top of the killer,
That's
a
so lame.
Very interesting survivor and killer mechanic that's quite unique to this chapter. That will appear every time you play.
Isn't the PTB for this coming out like next week? Like, why
So
are we
you might
not
get a
showing
clue
it?
about
Is it not
So
ready yet?
obviously,
That's
we
a
will
fucking huge red
reveal more
flag.
of that in a couple of weeks in another stream. But I want to say that the power
He's
and
already
perks
getting
are
nerfed.
really authentic to the universe of Five Nights at Freddy's.
So he's gonna have some kind of jump scare
Now,
power,
one
most
of the
likely.
other ways that we like to bring authenticity
Hope you guys are ready to get
to
jump
the
scared.
content that we create is with cosmetics, of course. And there are going to be a few really cool ones as we release this. But there's one we absolutely need to talk about today. A legendary outfit for Springtrap that we will have will be taken directly from the movie, and we're going to show a little thing.
Oh, it's gonna be Matthew Lillard. Yeah. Oh man, they're gonna make some money, aren't they? Those bastards. They're gonna make a lot of money.
So, of course, you may have noticed on screen there, this is the yellow rabbit from the movie as portrayed by the absolutely talented Matthew Lillard. So
I'm sure it's voice acted by him too.
it's fine, get it out. Not only are we gonna have his pretty face in the game, but he was nice enough to record all the voiceover for the characters.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, you guys aren't going to see anything but Springtrap, Matthew Lillard
That's
of variation
exactly
for
what
a
I said when
long
I heard
time.
that.
Dude, too bad they couldn't get him to do like Scream too.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. I do the stupidest thing ever. The way I get into this thing is I do like an ape thing. So hold on a sec.
Oh my god, he's Harambe. We're going to capture this later and put it over
Holly,
Harambe.
holly, oxen free. Holly, holly, oxen free. Ready or not, here I come.
Harambe confirmed.
Fun.
He is such a cool guy.
So as you've seen, there is no survivor in this chapter. But
What?
yeah,
No
But-
survivor? What?
there
Are they
is a
crazy?
Yeah, thank you. We couldn't do this without, of course, the iconic location of Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria.
Thank God they at least have the map. Holy shit, imagine if they didn't
Oh,
have the
yeah.
map. You could see it's on the Greenville Garden or whatever they call it.
So we took inspiration from the first game, so you know, most of it.
There's gonna be a lot of Survivor skins
So
though, a
instead
lot
of
of
looking at
Survivor
it through camera, you're
legendaries for
actually going
sure.
to walk in it, and it's filled with Easter eggs, surprises, and of course jump scares. And there's also one
I'm not sure when it starts.
fantastic. Oh well, I'll let you react to this a little bit more, I think. It is cool. It's an awesome map. The team did great. Can't wait for you to play into it. So there's also something very, very cool, a quality of life feature that we're adding with this chapter. We will have a separate queue where you'll be able to go exclusively in this map.
And that's something that's going to be present for every upcoming map in the future also.
That's good.
Yeah,
I
let
like
us know
that.
if you actually like the feature, and that's what we'll do.
I think that
All
like
right.
it obviously should only
if
last
everybody
like
hates it,
for
we'll
a
take
short
it
amount
out,
of
but-
time, but letting us just like play on the new map
We
over
try
and
to
over
listen,
again, I
is
think
what
is a
I'm
good
saying.
idea.
What else?
Morning, Dozy.
Well, I think we're actually out of time on this one, so it's okay. There's going to be a big stream. Also, you should know, especially there might be a few people here who are big fans of Five Nights at Freddy that do not know Dead by Daylight so well yet. So go check out our socials, check our newsletter.
Fortnite players.
We will be teasing quite a lot and giving a lot more information in the weeks leading up to the actual release. So right now, Dave and I will scoot. Dave will be back later, don't worry. And right now we'll leave the room to Rose and Eric to take you through some of the really cool collections coming this year.
Yeah, there's just gonna be a lot of like Survivor skins, I'm sure, is the way they're gonna go with it. Maybe legendaries, who knows? They just don't want to. They have two new Survivors coming in the next
We're
fucking
moving the
patch.
map? No? Okay. I couldn't hear backstage. So Five Nights at Freddy's, huh? Wow. How do we follow that?
I have no idea.
Well,
It's gonna
I'll
be tough.
tell you how, Rose. With upcoming collections.
See?
Thanks for joining us, Rose. Rose is
Buy this,
as
buy
often as we
that,
can here
yeah.
on stream to share the cool cosmetics that are planned.
I like
and
what
today
they're
is
doing
no
with 2v8
exception.
for sure.
So
That's
why don't we
really,
dive in
really
because this
good.
show is running by us very quickly.
I didn't even think
So
that would
speaking
be
of very
possible
quickly,
for
I
them to
want to remind
code, or I
people,
would
let
have
people know maybe for the
suggested
first
it. It just
time,
seemed completely
about a year ago,
unrealistic.
we
If they
did
could
a
do that, then they can
community contest
definitely
where
do the
people got to
currency
submit
system.
designs for killers
Like
and,
having you
survivors
queue
and
while
other
playing.
things. And they've just started rolling
is
out
pretty
in this
nuts.
week's update. So I think we have a little image or video. Maybe. We got Jake Lone Wolf.
Yeah, you can.
Jake
They
Lone
announced
Wolf,
that
outfit by Fairy Coon,
in the
Little
next
Friend
edition of
Badge by Yuki
2v8,
Yamato,
or maybe the
and
edition after that,
Singularity
I don't
Death Top
remember
by It's Your Boy.
specifically which one they said, but
You may have heard some
you'll be able to
discussion
play
about the
Survivor while you're
Singularity,
active in queue to play Killer, and it'll save your
that it's
position
missing
in queue,
something on
so
its
that
face.
you basically play a Survivor
Should we add
match,
the frowny
and
face
then
back
you
to
should be immediately in a match as Killer when you're done with it,
Now
which
we
is
have
kind
to.
of like
I'm
priority
sorry.
queue, right? It's the
Fine.
same concept. It's just
This is how
probably
community
better
people
done.
pressure the
Probably a
devs
better
to do
version of it,
things.
actually. So they really cooked with
Just
that.
for
I just
you,
didn't
though.
think they were
Just for
capable
you.
of it.
Thank you, Rose.
It'll
So
break
we'll
the
be doing
game.
that, so stay
maybe
tuned.
it'll break the game.
And we have a bunch more winners.
Do you know
that
how
will be
much it's
rolling
gonna
out in
suck
rifts
if you like
throughout
play
the
a
year,
Survivor
so
match and
thanks
then
again to everyone who submitted. We're going to be
you
doing
like
another one.
fail
Stay
to
tuned.
connect on like
So,
the Killer match? It'll say
cosmetics, sorry
like,
for
oh,
shouting.
connection lost. Do it over
So there's
again.
a really
That'd be annoying.
exciting one, Rose, that you know, taps into maybe a video game relevant audience.
Here we go with the Witcher announcement.
So, as you guys might already know, we love dark fantasy at Dead by Daylight. As you can tell,
Make
from
your
our
predictions. Is it
Fun
going to
and
be a
Dungeons
free
and
character like
Dragons
David, or
chapter,
is it going to be a character you
now
have to
we're
pay for
super
like
thrilled to
Vittoria?
be inviting another incredible fantasy world into the world of Dead
I
by
hope they do
Daylight.
Siri as well, and not just Geralt.
This place.
Oh, it's voiced by the actor. That's cool.
Death hangs in the air.
Witcher collection coming out on June 3rd.
If it's a
June
collection,
3rd,
there should be
very
a
soon.
killer too, right? They
So
could
fans
probably
of The
do a
Witcher,
really cool
Witcher,
killer
I
in the
am
Witcher
one, you're one.
universe.
Hopefully we got some other. It sounds like we have some other Witcher fans here. It's a cosmetic collection of 6 new Witcher-themed outfits coming to the park.
6, okay.
Exactly. And of the 6, there are 2 legendary outfits. The first one being the Leshen outfit for the artist.
Yeah.
And of course,
Hate to lose, but kind of
Geralt
cool.
of Rivia outfit for Vittorio.
Vittorio. Okay. Cool.
So one of the best parts of Geralt's
Makes
outfit
sense,
is
it should
that
be
comes with
Vittorio.
a great new batch of voice lines recorded specifically by
Hag
Doug
skin,
Cockle, the
agreed.
character's original voice
100%
actor.
should be Hag.
Shout out to Doug Cockle. Any fans of him? He's actually in attendance at PAX this weekend.
We got
saw
to.
him.
I
He's
still
down
think
in
we
the
need Siri.
signing area, so
That
go
would
meet
be
him
a
after the
big,
show.
big blunder if they don't
That's
put
not
Siri
all.
in.
In
That's
the
not all.
collection, we also have very rare outfits for Yennefer,
Kate is Yennefer. No, so it's an outfit,
Siri.
but not a legendary. Sable is Siri. Okay, yeah, that makes sense
Triss
again.
Marigold,
Yeah.
and Eridan.
Oh, shit. Dude, that's a sick night skin. Holy shit, I'm done for. I have no
So
choice.
stay tuned. We'll release more info on our socials later.
Wow. I actually didn't know we were going to show all those.
That
great.
looks really
we change
fucking
things
sick.
at the last minute a lot of times. So those look fantastic. I'm excited. Just a note about if you're wondering, if you're kind of deep into this game, his medallion, Geralt's medallion, the eyes light up in the Witcher. That's not going to happen.
I think Siri will be more popular than Geralt, to be honest. I think that Siri will probably be the most popular out of all of them.
So in case people were worried about that, it's not happening. Okay, so
We also have some super cool Witcher-themed rewards attached to an upcoming Chaos Shuffle event coming out at the same time. And
Oh, like banners?
One of them is this
Yeah.
amazing Geralt in the Tub player card. We couldn't talk about The Witcher without sharing this, so
I'll never
enjoy.
be quality of life or killer at this point.
our requisite feat content has been met for
Shut
the
up
show.
and take my money, 100%. It's over. That night skin is like, I don't know how they continuously
yes,
just
June
make better
3rd is
night
right around the
skins over and
corner.
over
Get
again,
psyched.
but I
we still have
feel
some
the
more to show
pain
you
in my
of other
wallet.
things. We're
It's probably
talking
gonna be
Witcher
like
for now, but other
$15 too,
things.
those
So, our
bastards.
friend Matt, who you just saw, a tall guy, big bushy eyebrows back in the day, he did a TV show with the Boulet brothers called
Oh, they're
Dragon.
finally talking about this again.
And they did a Dead by Daylight themed episode, which was flipping cool.
Good for
and
night.
Why
Do it.
not turn it around and now bring them into Dead by Daylight?
Yeah, it was super cool. I'm jealous of Matt. But they
Oh,
also have
yeah.
a
I mean, he kind of looks like a ring wraith, to be honest.
This is Dracula and Swantula, your Queens of Darkness, the Boulet brothers, and we are so excited about our crossover with Dead by Daylight. One of my favorite episodes of the show is when we did our Dead by Daylight challenge, and our cast had to come up with looks worthy of becoming a new killer skin in Dead by Daylight.
The Boulet Brothers collection will feature
And let me
2
guess,
outfits.
another Huntress,
The first
probably?
is the iconic outfit for the Huntress,
course.
modeled after the winning design for that episode. The second is the Boulet Brothers artist outfit for the artist, which is a mix of both of us. Keep an eye out for that collection releasing on July 8th.
It's only 2
We'll
skins?
see you in the
I feel like there should be
fall.
more. People are going to be gooning for that Huntress skin, though.
Look at that.
Oh, never mind. They toned it down pretty savage.
Couple of
They
concepts
toned it
here of what
way
you just
down.
We're gonna keep it rolling.
They need
'cause
to
this show
buff
doesn't have a
artists or
limited
something
time.
if
So
they're
next
gonna
up,
keep
is
like
something from the
giving her
extended world of Dead
skins.
by Daylight.
Nobody wants to
What can you
play
tell us
that
about this one?
character.
So last year,
annoying.
Supermassive Games released the casting of Frank Stone, which explored the origins of a brand new killer.
Don't try to
This
pretend that
year,
this was a good
Frank
game.
Stone in his transformed state will be entering the entity's trials as a cool new legendary outfit for the Trapper.
I already have Frank Stone's like helmet.
You can look for the Frank
I mean,
Stone's
whatever.
champion outfit.
If people
to be
are into that, I
released in
guess. I thought it
September.
would look really
And
stupid.
just as a note, if you played the game, you know that's a screenshot from the casting of Frank Stone. It's not an in-game shot.
You
just
enjoyed
yet
it?
from Dead by Daylight, but that is what it's based on. So stay tuned for that one. All right, last one. Oh, actually,
I don't think the only enjoyment I got out of it was the fact that it was in the Dead by Daylight universe.
Right now,
I didn't feel like I had choices and stuff like all of Supermassive's other games felt like you have way more choices.
Supermassive, we love that. Okay, last one that Rose has brought for us today is adding some new outfits to an existing fan favorite collection.
Yep, we're adding 2 new outfits to the Tomb Raider collection.
Dude, Lara Croft is so popular.
Both of which are releasing
She's one of the most played
August 5th.
survivors for sure.
The first one is Lara's classic ensemble, which is the
Oh,
iconic
no.
Tomb Raider, Lara Croft.
Dude, they're really gooning for
this
people.
is the iconic look that started it all for Tomb Raider, and we're super happy to be bringing it to Dead by
The
Daylight.
Dead by Daylight community
We'll
is
also
like
be
way
adding
too
another
horny for
outfit,
all of
but
this.
we'll
They
be
can't
sharing
handle
more news
any of
about
it.
that in the future.
Yep, wasn't ready yet. Just stay tuned.
Fans will recognize it though.
That's true. Get hype. Thank you so much,
No,
Rose.
people just love
I
Lara
told you
Croft.
This would be fine. FNAF is a big deal, but these are a big deal too, right, guys? So there's plenty of other collections that are still going to be releasing. We just don't have a million years on the show to show you all of them. So stay tuned. Check out Dead by Daylight, our social media, and you can catch them there. And now, Rose, I will
So they're the
bid you adieu.
perfect consumer.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.
Folks, now you got to spend a minute with me. I'm sorry. So we are here for Dead by Daylight's 9th anniversary, but we are also Behavior.
Guessing Dorks isn't here.
That does other things, and we thought, why not just take just a minute to tell you about something cool that we're doing outside of Dead by Daylight. There is a desire.
Yeah, they did say
to help
it's Springtrap
out
with the legendary skin for from the movie with Matthew Lillard, and it's voice acted by. It's gonna sell like a trillion copies.
Not my face, don't worry.
That's a good question, Herman. I don't know.
So it is a first-person roguelite set in a dystopian city, and within the city you have to find and kill your own clone, if the clone doesn't kill you first. It has my face, started as a game jam creation by Nightbite Studios, which is 2 people, and in fact, they have recorded a little message for us today just to introduce themselves. So let's go to that.
Hello everyone, I am Salih, founder of Nightbite Games and the lead developer of It Has My Face. The game actually started as a jam game around the theme of clones, and the response was amazing. After the jam, I kept working on it for years, and later my brother joined the project.
I haven't
We are
seen
a
this
tiny
game,
team
but the
making
concept
this
of
really
it sounds
unique and
pretty
awesome game with
interesting.
lots of love. So I hope you enjoy the game as much as we do making it every day. Thank you for your support and stay tuned for more news.
Kill your clone. If this was like a PvP game, I think it could be pretty interesting. Kinda like deceiving. Bro, what kind of pistol was that? Yeah, hopefully they don't charge too much for those. You want coffee? Did you get out of bed?
All right.
Basically, anything behavior touches besides Dead by
So you can actually
Daylight
head to Steam
dies,
right
so
now if
it's
you want to check
probably
out the
not
demo
a...
of It Has My Face and wishlist it. It's going to be in early access later this year. One last thing from the extended world of behavior. Who has heard of Red Hook Studios, the creators of Darkest Dungeon? Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, they are also doing their anniversary stream today from PAX. It is later today, in fact, the anniversary for Darkest Dungeon 2. It's at 6 p.m. right here from PAX if you want to check it out. It's not at PAX. I'm lying, but it's today.
Yeah, like
I'm at
Assassin's
PAX.
Creed
My brain
original.
is melted. Red Hook's second anniversary stream.
Meet
for
Your
Darkest
Makers
Dungeon Tuesday,
100%
6 p.m.
day.
Eastern Time. You can check it out on Twitch at Red Hook Studios. I believe we're even going to be hosting it on our own channel. So if you're lazy, you can just stay here. And that's your Eric Pope interlude. We're going to get back to the fun action now with Dave Richard. Dave, come out here.
What's left? Do you guys remember what's next? Choose your own chapter. Oh, okay. This is probably going to be silly.
Hi, Dave.
Hello, Eric.
I got to readjust myself. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
All right, Dave. We got a clock counting us down, so we're gonna zip
It's
through
just
this. but
like
this
choose
is an
your own
awesome
original
one.
chapter?
This one is my personal favorite thing of the entire show. And
As it should, yes.
It is. So it's a new original chapter coming.
Yep.
A new killer, new survivor.
Yes.
And that's kind of all we know.
Yeah, we
We get
don't
to
know
pick the
anything about
theme,
this chapter
vote for the
because
theme.
you have not created it yet.
Interesting.
What does that mean?
If they just want people to send in concepts,
What does that
or
mean?
are they going to let us vote on something?
Okay, so obviously we have an amazing community. They have a lot of creativity. We've seen it in homemade killers and some pitches online. How to balance the game, everything. So we want to be able
Currency system
to
chapter.
create a chapter from scratch with all of you, building every step from pre-production to the end of the process.
Yeah, so it's going to lead us up to our 10th anniversary. It's going to be an awesome experience that we're going to get. It's a long experience, too. We really want you to experience what it's like to build a whole
You think it's going to be a Gunner chapter? Probably.
I'm super excited for this. How did this idea germinate and come about?
Well, we've been thinking about it for quite a bit. We wanted to make sure that we could do this right. And I think we found the right format.
I think so. So do you want to talk about the format, or do you want to tease it a little more?
I guess. Okay. So basically what we want to do is we will not go just, hey, let's get comments online and do something people suggest. We want to make sure that we give you the right choices to build this so that we end up with something extraordinary that everybody will love. And so we are using a choose-your-own-adventure format for this. Matt is like, ooh, Matt's impressed backstage. Thank you, Matt.
We have some folks here who are pretty young, might not know what Choose Your Own Adventure is.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you don't know what it is, it's basically a series of books. And you read a story, there's a great narrative, and then you have a choice to make at every page that will bring you either to the dungeon, to open a door, and then you go to that other page of the choice you've made until you die horribly or get out of the book.
They made a Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventure book?
For building the character. So a strong narrative that will bring you into the creation of these creature, killer, survivor, whatever.
And so every week or 2 or 3, depending on how busy Dave is, you as a community get to vote on certain choices to build from step by step each of these characters.
This feels so unintuitive for some reason. Like, I don't know.
Make something special with their
Like,
choices
are we gonna come to the conclusion on anything with this?
What they might look like, those choices?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's take a killer, for example. We would start with the eye-level fantasy of who this character is. So, for example, we might ask, would you prefer to have a killer that's grounded into reality? Would you prefer a supernatural character, otherworldly character? And so we have these eye-level fantasy, and then based on the top vote, we move on to, in the story, and so we would define a little bit more precisely. So for example, if the top vote is supernatural, then maybe the other choice would be, is it an undead character? Is it a person that has occult supernatural powers? And so on until we'll define it, the whole fantasy, the narrative, and of course the power as well.
And so we're gonna do the same for Survivor, right?
Absolutely. Of course, Survivor don't have powers, but they have perks to define. They have a rich backstory. Why do we empathize with them? So you'll get to forge this story.
Just want a pony.
What relationship they have and how it defined this Survivor.
Yeah, so essentially you'll be in game, you see, oh, I got a new choice to make this week. You go and vote, and then maybe the next week or the next time we check in a couple weeks, You'll see the results of your previous vote. Okay, now we have an otherworldly killer. And then you move on from there. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. You got it. But there is a twist. So just like in the Choose Your Own Adventure books, of course, you can always peek at the different choice to cheat, to get the best thing you want for you. So in our process, we'll have twists like this. One, for example, is a change your fate mechanic. So we will always give you the padding choice of the top winning choice that you voted on and the runner-up. So you'll be able to see all of these different possibilities, and maybe we'll change path along the way. So there's a lot
The
of
Redditor.
there's a lot of steps.
Oh, God.
And you know, for killers right now, as we designed this, we're over 1,000 different possibility of ending killers. So it's going to be pretty exciting.
You should see the crazy flowchart Miro board he's built. It's amazing. So the idea is to take all these folks through the whole production cycle, yeah?
Yeah, so pre-production, we start with fantasy, themes, etc. And then when we finish this, we won't stop for production. We will involve you in production as well. So anytime that usually in a chapter creation, we get to decide which outfit, which weapon is going to use, you know, we see different concept and we choose the best one, we will involve you into that. So, for example...
God, what kind of monstrosity is going to come out of this idea? I'm really considering what's going to come out of this.
You want in the final product.
Yep, it's a big experiment that I'm psyched to take you through, because you might actually learn something along the way about how flippin' complex game development is, but we want you to take the ride with us for once instead of just waiting for the result. So I think it's going to be cool.
We'd love to be able to have more PTBs along the way too, so that you can also play the prototypes, which is something that you don't usually see.
Yep, so... Whoa, hey. Matt's excited. Yeah, so the idea is, you know, our 10th anniversary, almost a year-ish from now, is all about you, the community. So that's a really nice.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a year from now we get it, right? So maybe not next anniversary, but like after next anniversary.
Nice adventure. Can't wait to see what you will choose, what you will build. We've done some internal tests, and every time we ended up with a different concept, which was amazingly interesting. And yeah, we want to have this available for our 10th anniversary year, so sometime in 2026.
Yeah, it's been super fun testing it internally. Dave's essentially been our dungeon master as we create this new character. It's super cool. So, right, we're not going to wait too long to get started. Just hang tight another couple weeks, and our first vote will roll out, and then we'll just go on from there. We can do pretty much what we want. We keep coming up with questions during this process, like, oh, what should we do for this? And the answer keeps coming back, well, whoa, let's let the community choose. So right down to the name of the chapter, you know, we're talking about everything. So we'll see you out there.
So keep an eye out on our socials so that you know when it starts and you get to vote on the first choice.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave,
hey, no problem.
for joining us one more time. Thank you.
This was kind of lame. I mean, it's funny how they brushed over some of the most important things like they weren't even an announcement.
And that means I get to make a merch shout out.
Great.
Let's see that merch, folks.
Really?
Matt's making his way out here. You can maybe still get some, so it's not this one, the merch down at the booth, but that's selling out fast. And this you can get on the shop right now on the DBD shop. So, yeah, hi, Matt. Why are you here?
Wait, what is this? Why is
we
it
are at the
back?
end of the show. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us.
Is there going to be one last thing?
Normally, this is the bit of the show, if you've watched the anniversary once or twice, where you figure, oh, there's got to be something that comes after.
They haven't announced the Konami thing yet, right?
But in this case, we've tried to do things a little differently this year.
Because we heard Gordjiro was going to attend, and we're like, cancel it. Let's not do anything special for this
Dracula
one.
Pyramid Head, 2v8.
If you've paid very close attention to the show, you will notice that we've already told you what the license coming after Five Nights at Freddy's is. So
you already told them throughout the show?
Yeah, there's been a bunch of clues hidden throughout our broadcast, a bunch of hints. So I want you to put on your tinfoil hats. Polly, we're looking at you. and then
Polly
give us
became
our
cringe
best
now.
speculations and theories on what you think it is. Actually, anybody here knows?
Shrek is what was shouted from the crowd.
That
if you're
guy
watching.
shouted Shrek so instantly and confidently.
Shrek is in the maybe pile.
He was like, Shrek.
He's not even joking.
So yeah, go on our socials, tag us, and give us your best speculations and your best guesses. We will let you know if you were right. Go back, watch the show.
We heard they like teasers, right? So let's do some teasing of what the next chapter is
There you
instead
go.
of just shouting it at you on
I
a
sure as hell
stage.
didn't notice anything.
Shout out to the Binding of Isaac, actually. They were just talking about us on Twitter, yeah. But it's not that.
You're not supposed to.
I shouldn't say that, but
no,
it's
you're
not
not supposed to. All right, well, one last time, thank you again
Yeah.
so very much.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Boston, Massachusetts.
It's Witcher? No, it's got to be something
we do
else.
have another stream coming shortly. We'll announce the date when we can to reveal the specifics of the Five Nights at Freddy's chapter, how the gameplay
It's so
works and all
weird
that.
that they didn't
Stay
talk about the
tuned.
actual anniversary event
And come
in the
see us at the
anniversary
booth
stream.
afterwards. Yeah, we'll be happy to hug.
This
and
was such
shake
a
hands.
weird
Thanks,
stream,
everybody.
Cheers.
right? Like, what the hell? I don't know. That was a weird stream. Like, I was expecting like way more than that. Yeah, it's over. That was nothing. So okay, the big things, right, is like, yes, it is literally an exact copy of me. I even dressed the same. You're gonna be able to see your teammates' builds later in the year. They announced that like it was nothing. Like, oh, by the way, you're gonna be able to see your teammates' builds. There's no good way to do that outside of like a ranked playlist, by the way. Like there's no good way. Because if you see your teammate, it's gonna cause people to lobby dodge like crazy. They're never gonna want to play with somebody who has us. Like, it's gonna solidify meta more. It's gonna hurt matchmaking because people are gonna constantly lobby dodge. Yeah. And we'll see, like, maybe people get used to it, but I think it's gonna, like, even like from yourself, right? Say you joined a match as solo survivor and you see some guy on your team is running like a super off meta dumb build. You're not gonna want to play that match. You're gonna back out and look for someone else as a teammate, right? Like, why would you want to play with that guy when you know he's gonna have self-care or, you know, Soul Survivor and Wake Up, right? Like, I'm not playing with this piece of shit. I'm backing out. And then it's gonna fill in with somebody quick. It's gonna do a quick fill in, which is gonna make the lobby shit for everybody else because they know they just got a bad fill in teammate. So they're gonna back out, and then people are just gonna constantly lobby dodge until they get like a really strong looking team. And then they're going to play that match out. And then the people that run shittier builds or more fun builds are going to like constantly be getting dodged. They're going to get annoyed. So they're going to start running more meta too. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like a really healthy thing to do in this game. Like Scott said, like you could put it so that you could see it only in game. So once you've actually loaded into the match, you could see your teammates' perks, which, yeah, maybe, but like, who has time in a match to press the start button and do like an investigation of their teammates' perks? Like, what, do you have a photographic memory or something? Like, you could use it for like short moments, right? Like if somebody gets like, let's say, slugged, you could press the start button and check, does this person have Unbreakable? Oh, they do. Okay, I can stay on the gen. Like, you could do things like that, I guess. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but yeah, they definitely shouldn't put it in the pregame lobby or in the loading screen even, because in the loading screen you can easily dodge with like an Alt F4 or dashboarding or whatever as well to skip the match. And that's even worse, actually, because if you dodge in the loading screen, it like dooms everybody to a huge borathon. So that's like the first big thing. Very negative. Now, and I said this on stream last night that they were going to do this, right? Is that medkits and flashlights are like insanely strong. They're insanely strong items that you can bring into the game. Borderline broken if, you know, well optimized. So with maps and key changes, we knew they were like, even though they're perfectly fine, right? They're perfectly fine. They don't get used because they're not as good as toolboxes, medkits, and flashlights, which just give you insane value. Yeah, toolboxes as well. So they're obviously going to want to buff maps and buff keys because, again, there's no currency system, right? Like, imagine there was a currency system and it's like you only have 5 points left over and you want to bring an item. Well, you could bring a key because, you know, it's not that expensive of an item, right? But without the currency system, the key has to be as good in value as a med kit or a toolbox. So they've now are going to make it to where keys give you object of obsession on killer when you hold it down. So kind of like the green key, but I'm assuming way stronger. So you're going to be able to see the killer's aura when you burn it, which is like, if that works, like imagine you load into a match and you hold the key down and you see, oh shit, it's the I immediately know what the killer is. If you're in a Swift, you call that out to your whole team. Everybody knows who the killer is. Another thing you can do with it, you can use that perk that increases the order reading on killer for 2 seconds. The one from Belmont. You can use that. You could tap it in a chase, right? You're getting chased by the killer around a loop. You tap it, you see their aura for like 3 seconds every time you tap it. Like, who needs check spots when you have a wall hacks, right? Like disgustingly broken. Then the most used survivor perk in the entire game right now, like 35% pick rate, windows of opportunity, the best perk, the one that almost every survivor you play against runs. They're changing maps into giving you windows of opportunity. So now one of the perks you were running, that's the quite literally, like on paper, the best perk, survivor perk in the game, windows, because everyone uses it, right? They're giving you that as an item option now, so you could just have this insanely goated 5th perk. Like, imagine if a killer had like was able to bring something like that into a game on top of their normal build. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run an offering for corrupt intervention, right? Like, think about that. Like, if you could run an offering to have corrupt intervention, that's just a 5th perk. You would literally never not run it. No, Ed, yeah. Like, it's super silly. Like, maps have a place in Dead by Daylight, just how they are. They 100% have a place. Like, we don't have to giga buff them to give you the same value as the other strong items. Like, we've been using maps on stream, as like in our last few streams when we played Survivor, we're using maps on our boon build, right? Like, keys are going to be disgusting. Every tryhard like player is going to be running keys. They're so, like, healing is already so broken fast with certain perks in this game that you don't even really need to have everyone running a med kit. If you're a good looper, bring a key, torture the killer, and then this just promotes playing better killers, right? Because, like, why would you want to play some shit killer that is going to get absolutely like destroyed by wall hacks? Nemesis has been, they kill switch to Nemesis instead of kill switching play with your food. I mean, I guess maybe that was the way to go. Like, Nemesis was broken in a lot more ways than just a single perk. So yeah, it makes sense actually. Dude, I can't believe they broke flashbangs and firecrackers again. Again. How can they not get that fixed? It reminds me of when like the female survivors couldn't vault, remember? They broke it like 12 times in a row. When the female survivors would vault, they would be like hugging the window so you could always hit them on a vault every single time. What happened to Nemi? I mean, I guess that he got kill switched because he it was a bit broken in a lot of ways. Like, he needs a hot fix. So yeah, those are two big things. There was something else too though, right? It wasn't just those things. Something else was broken. What was bugged? Basically his like M1s weren't counting as M1s and his M2s weren't counting as M2s, and it allowed him to abuse a bunch of perks with like no downsides. So they had to get rid of him for now. He could lunge while carrying a survivor. Yeah, the keys already have wall hacks on certain like add-ons, especially the green key, but I think they're gonna make it way better and more specific to the point that it's like the keys are just there for and again, I wouldn't be surprised if this was somewhat to do with the fact that they want to make it to where you could see your teammates' builds in the pregame lobby, right? Because if you go into a pregame lobby and you see your teammates using a key, you're gonna dodge them, right? Because you don't want to play with a guy who's got a key. He's just planning on waiting for everyone to die so he can like escape through the hatch. So they're not gonna want to play with that person. They're gonna dodge them. So they are forced again to make things more meta so that people don't dodge. I wonder if they're gonna kill switch Doctor as well, or if they think that's okay. Yeah, the night skin is crazy. Okay, so yeah, Nemesis kill switched, guys. Oh shit. This currently selected character is not playable, but Doctor they left in, yeah. What's wrong with Doctor? So like Doctor, how he's typically played is you want to shock people before they drop a pallet or before they vault a window, right? But right now, if you shock somebody, even if they're mid animation of going through the window, it reverts them back on the other side. So he has like insane power to, he doesn't have to time it at all and he gets the value. Almost every killer in the game is bugged. I think Mr. Headache made a video on it, someone told me, so maybe you could check that out. But like they have bugged virtually every killer in some ways. Nurse is not blinking to where she's supposed to, apparently. Huntress, her hatchets just disappear midair and they just vanish completely. Like they don't visually disappear, like they just they don't hit anything, like they're not there anymore. So she's pretty much garbage. I know, like, again, like every killer has some bugs. Twins, if Victor doesn't get a direct hit on the center of the hitbox, he bounces off of survivors, which is completely game breaking. He's like garbage. I heard Dredge has a bunch of bugs. Some killers are causing the game to crash. Knight, his guards, when you set a path out to like with your guard, you'll just hit an invisible wall which won't let you put your guard path out, which is devastatingly bad. Vecna, I heard, has like some really bad bugs. Dracula, I think they said his Hellfire isn't charging properly, which is we may have actually felt that when we were playing as him, because I felt like his Hellfire was being very fucking odd and finicky when I was playing. Wraith is crashing games. Ghostface is having some super weird issue too. I think someone said Pinhead's portals are randomly disappearing. Oh my god. Yeah, it's Operation Health has literally turned into Operation Dumpster Fire. I don't know what happened. There's gonna be an anniversary event, but they just didn't mention it at all. Like, the sad part is that it'll probably get leaked what it is before we actually see what it is. Clown's bottles have a weird delay too. So like, what's the current
It wasn't supposed to be this way.
I've never played this chick, I don't think. I just realized that. Let's yeah, just play out a survivor match, see how it goes. Curious. Who needs windows when you can bring sprint burst, am I right? Best perk ever confirmed. Do I have any skins for this crazy looking character? No, I don't. And I never will. Trickster, I'm just gonna go ahead and say Trickster's bugged even without knowing if it's true or not. Sometimes liquid, much appreciated for growing some mud. Plus vigil, yeah, it's really nasty that. Could I? I still feel like there was something else we like heard about in the live stream that I'm not remembering. What was it? There was definitely something else there that was like a huge announcement and they just glazed over it like it was nothing. Was it something about the quality of life stuff coming? Oh yeah, they're rehauling MMR or redoing MMR. Like, why would they do that? Is it because we know too much? Maybe it's because we know too much of how MMR works and they finally have gotten to the point where there's actually no way to see MMR anymore, right? Like, it's completely 100% hidden. So because of that, it's possible. It's Oni. Bro's got lethal. Oh. How close is he? Alright, now he's too close. I will pre-drop everything on the map. I'm not even joking. So, like, that's how you play against Sony. You pre-drop. She got hit, bro. She got hit. How? How? Explain. You're 2 inches away from Killer Shack, Tina. Come on now. How do you get hit by Oni? You've doomed us all. It's a trade secret. I hope they make MMR so insanely strict that we have to sit in matchmaking queues for 20 minutes to find a lobby. That would be great. Yeah, you can't give it up that easy to Oni. Like, he's just sucking her dry now. Like, she's doing a good follow-up, but he's just gonna juice her blood and then he's gonna shit on all of us with his ability. 4 hours with twins? No way, that's crazy. He's going for pain res? Yeah, he was. Hey guys, don't get hit. Come on now. You're grouping up. Why are we grouping up? Tony's trying to play a little bit tactically around that gen. I'm gonna go try to finish this one she was on at the beginning. Alright, Tina's on hook. I think he's gonna try to tunnel Tina, so I do have shoulder. Yeah, he's going to tunnel her. He's trying to hard tunnel her out. Just happened. That was a weird ass noise. Sounds like they're banging. DVD 2 coming soon. Game audio is low? Really? Oh, it's too loud. Yeah, you're right. It's, I still have it made for, the stream. That should be better. Oh, he has his power ready. He had Jolt. She led him right to the gen, by the way, and that was beautiful. It's already kicked, so nowhere to hide won't do anything for him here. Luckily he wasn't able to tunnel that girl. Injured will help us out here. I'll see where he's going. Problem is he's gonna want to come straight back to the hook. He thinks I'm here. Let's waste as much of his time as we can. You know, once we see him in an actual chase with somebody else, that's when we'll unhook, because he's gonna come straight back to the hook, right? Game sense tells me that that's very, very obvious that he's gonna do that. He knows he's got a gen here close to done. Oh wait, he found Tina. Maybe he's thinking Tina's the play. You gotta play like mean with Oni. He has so much downtime. You gotta try to like get somebody out of the game or proxy. What are we doing, Michaela? You gotta make a choice. You gotta make some kind of decision about what you want to do with your life. We're running to the gen again? Yeah, we are. Yeah. Who is that? Okay, so now, right? It's really important we don't get downed here, so I need to go far. Do you think he saw me? I hope he didn't see me, but he may have. I was very visible. Alright, so. Alright, come over here. Alright. Wait till he's in a chase with somebody. Alright. Now we've taken away his kill, right? He wasn't tunneling her. You saw he hooked somebody else before her. So he's going for her again. Come on, Tina. Alright, we gotta get away from this gen now. Our teammates just keep running to Killer Shack every single 2 seconds. Wait, they're moving away. I'm gonna go back. I think it's a good gen to keep pressure on if we can. The burden has been shouldered. Yeah, I got exposed. But with Vigil, the exposed doesn't last very long. It goes up like 40% faster. Don't forget that Vigil literally does everything in the game. It's such a fucking busted perk. Alright, so he's in his power going for her. We should get the unhook. This Michaela is very, very, like scared. It feels like all the time. So she would be dead right now, but because I had shoulder, she's alive. Our gen efficiency is pathetic, so we're gonna lose this game anyway, but you could see that if we had like a good team, how much that would have done. Like this Michaela's probably spent like 80% of the match just walking through the cornfields. Resurgence, circle of healing, and a med kit. All that in insta heal. I have sprint burst back, so I'm completely free to sprint burst away if I get into a bad situation. Doesn't mean I will do it in time, but alright, keep an eye out. Gotta be very alert here. Yep, run. Don't give him a free down. Do not give him a free down. We have resources. My sprint burst is almost back again. So I want to just take him away, right? I'm not interested in really doing a chase. Take him to Killer Shack if I can. Alright, so he gets me with sloppy. Check spot. Last gen's finished. He might have like some endgame perk now. Do you think he has batteries? Or did I just run that pathetically? Alright, so the exit gates are very far. I'm probably dead here. Yeah, they buffed Vigil. Even though it was already such a good bird. I think I'm cooked here. He has his power. There's no reason. They should definitely leave me. I'll just make sure they have the time. If they leave soon enough, though, I can abandon. Like, them actually coming to save me is going to be what makes me lose the game, and them too. If they just left, I could abandon and draw the game. They're actually, like, choosing to die on purpose, but that's what I mean. You don't have to make good decisions as a survivor, dude. Guys, you're all gonna die. Like, I don't know what you're doing here. Like, you're all literally going to die. For no reason. You're not even making an attempt. Good luck. I hope they all die. I really hope they all die. I'm not lying. I hope none of them make it out. They just stood there. Like, what are you doing? They all escaped? That's wild. How did he should not have been like blundered that one. If he gets his ability, maybe she dies, but if he M1s her, then I think it's a free escape. What is she doing? Just run a straight line, Michaela. What are you doing? I think she did that so unoptimally that she might actually die now. We'll see. You get a huge like head start. Now she makes it wild. Well, my MMR goes down, their MMR goes up, guys. This is how you create a delicious MMR system. Don't worry, guys. Shoulder the Burden isn't usable in solo queue. Okay, it's only usable in a format. Bro had Lethal Pursuer. You were right, he did have it. I mean, we just like literally hard won that game because I brought shoulder. Like if he wasn't able to turn that into a 3v1, we lose that game. I'm fairly certain we lose. Or at the very least we get 1 or 2 people out. Like there's no way we win without shoulder there. I just used sprint burst and vigil so he could never commit to a chase. We had kindred so we could always make like safe decisions on when's best to use it. Yeah, it just came pre-planned. Meanwhile, they brought instas and a toolbox. Just like hockey.
I'm not supposed to be here.
The tombs. This whole web system is dead now. Alright. It got gutted. We were gonna try to throw the hunt build out, I remember, but I don't know what happened to that. I wanted to try this build on Pinhead. I thought it would be fun. Harambe Bubba later? Good chance. I don't like to ever not do a Harambe. The Eerie? So it makes it to where when the chain hunt is inactive. Oh, they nerfed it. I didn't even know they nerfed Lamet configuration. Okay. So that's why it doesn't feel as good anymore. I literally thought I was crazy, but it actually makes sense. When did they nerf Lamet configuration, guys? How long has it been? Like, that's a really bad nerf. I think we're maybe better off with original pain. How depressing. You don't remember that change at all? I don't either. It used to be 16 meters, now it's 24. Hold on, let me see. Seven 7.0. Am I crazy? No, this isn't the perk or the add-on. I need the add-on. Yeah, here. Nerf. Increase the aura range from 16 meters to 24 meters. Patch 5.4? What? Okay, so that's like 1 trillion years ago. I guess I'm insane, dude. I had no idea. I still thought it was 16 meters. 4 years it's been like that. Holy shit, bro. Imagine being that late to the party. Yeah, it's still good, but I think maybe the issue is that I'm just getting like small maps. Like if you get Dead Dog Saloon, this does nothing for you. Yeah, because you don't want them to know where the box is, yeah. Like it basically makes it to where they can't optimize, right? Like survivors love to optimize everything, which makes sense, you should, but they'll always wait to solve the llama configuration like right in the nick of time, right? So they can maximize rescues, healing, gen progress, all that stuff. But when they don't know where the box is, they have to dedicate more time to searching for it before the chain hunt activates. And if they try to get greedy, then the chain hunt is probably going to activate. Map offering guy? Who is it? It's Dwight. Okay. Never mind. He probably has balanced landing or something. It's a really good map for balance. You can get disgusting 3-gens on this map, but it didn't happen. We'd have actually no, it did. We got a pretty decent one here. Yeah, I would say we got a pretty decent one. They're like all within like that main building. So I really do assume Dwight's gonna come to main and try to take advantage of his balance. Yeah, there it is. He's up there already. Guarantee that's... Oh, it's Sable. Oh, but not alone. Alright, we have that person at balanced. Oh, so they're 4-man and they all brought this to be cringe. Gotcha. Lima gets solved. A little bit of gen time that saves us though. We need to defend this like savagely. That's all you guys know how to do, like use balance landing and run away. Did I make that? That was a bit of an ambitious one, even with agitation. I wish I had the other add-on though, so I could get rid of her when she uses self unhook. Just calling it out that like the self unhook is gonna get her out of there, I think. Now she bleeds out in there. Now trying to do the main one again. Alright. Oh, guys, this didn't really go the way you wanted it to, did it? Ah. Off the record. That Sheva, like, fucking just hard carried these guys so savagely right with that play. Holy shit. I don't know why it looked like she was literally going 800 million miles an hour when she ran down into the basement. That was a bit odd, but yeah, that was very strange. So they're gonna try to like use this opportunity to break the 3-gen would be my guess, but I don't care. I just have to have one guy searching. Can I get out here like from another direction? That's good. We got our 3-gen. That's brutal, to be honest. Let's see how long they want to play it out. Do you think they hide it for the 10 minutes? Just gonna use her balanced landing here. No. She has live. Yeah, it was definitely a live stream of all time. So Sheva maybe lithed down into the basement, and that's why she was like faster than a fucking lightning beam when she came down there and unhooked everybody. As I don't care about those gens, this map's too big. Let's see how you are in a chase. Dwight's just running around solving the box over and over again. We know Sheva was on this gen, right? Because she blew it. I need to check the generator over here. I don't have the luxury. No, they're not on it. Okay, good. Slug him. Hope the map offering was worth it, brother. Yeah, a lot of new survivors, bro. It's kind of wild, actually. Scrolls on this again. Just got Sable up. This Sheva, bro, is hard carrying these guys, like, to a degree that's literally comical. They're not really interested in doing these gens so much. I think they're actually back there. I should go.
I came.
Oh, did she speed up again, this Sheva? Because Sable may have had DS and I didn't want to eat it there, because, yeah. Even in like these situations, it's kind of wild how bad DS can hurt you sometimes. And here I'm not doing it because I don't want Dwight to escape, so. You saw the landing configuration over there, right? So the new one should have spawned somewhere over here. Ah, here it is. Bro, this girl's got perks for every situation, man, I swear to God. Alright, she's surely got DS. Draw. Draw. I think she has Unbreakable too. She does have Unbreakable. Oh my god. Alright, she hard carried this team, so we'll give her a chance to get Hatch. Not that it really matters. It's like a guaranteed draw anyway, but. Bum 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 bum. She unhooks Dwight. What a bastard, huh? She's really, really good at disappearing, this girl. Like, you never see, like, traces of scratch marks or anything. Like, just completely gone with the wind. I see the chains like harassing her back here. You think she draws now? Probably. Did you miss the rage? I think the biggest rage was when they announced that they're buffing keys and maps to be like base kit meta perks. The people just still don't see it, right? That like things have to be full meta or they don't have value. That's how this game works. You need full, like something has to be the equivalent of something else that's just as good as it or it's worthless. No, they're the item map, like the map item. They're turning the map item into windows of opportunity, and they're turning keys into object of obsession on like on your command whenever you want to use it. Why? Because toolboxes, medkits, and flashlights are all super insanely good and probably honestly overpowered. And instead of, you know, trying to address this in a more intelligent way, they're just deciding to giga buff maps and keys to be as valuable as these items. They're taking the best survivor or the most used survivor perk in the entire game and turning it into an item that you can bring on top of 4 other perks. What's the difference? Surrendering is actually worse because it corrupts matchmaking. Like if you were just to go next, at least your MMR goes down. I mean, syringes are like broken, like in the degree of stupidity. I like this night skin a lot, but I mean, what can I say? That new one is so good. We'll see though. We won't get it if there's like issues with it. That's for sure. It's gonna be way too expensive, so like if I see there's any bugs or if like the sword takes up 80% of your FOV and you can't see shit, like there's little things like that you have to worry about. We have to make sure that he's not like 22 feet tall and you can see him over everything, or that he's super loud and you hear him from a mile away. Like a lot of little things. But if none of that's an issue, then yeah, we'll probably buy it. Gonna be based on something else than just kills and escapes. I mean, the only other thing in the game is pips, right? Which would just kind of be going back to the rank-based matchmaking system. Which would be healthier for sure. They said it won't be just based on escapes and kills. I kind of like was talking when they were talking about MMR a little bit. Hooks isn't a good idea either though, because the problem with hooks is that, like for example, if it's based on hooks and I play slug only night, my MMR is gonna drop like dramatically. How much like practice are we talking about though? Like I feel like to actually be a good artist, you're looking at like a few thousand hours. Like she's one of the hardest characters in the game. I think the game should be balanced around hooks, but MMR as like a rating of someone's like level of skill is hard to do because it's so like manipulatable. Did I have an offering odds for that map? What the hell? I didn't know that. Alright, we've literally spawned like locked in a room here. Alright, we're gonna start with our assassin because we know they're on this. Which way does she go? That way? Alright, so we want to go this way. Guess she didn't, wasn't a knower. Bro, there were two people on that gen a half a millisecond ago. What the fuck? Alright, so we saw that she was on that, right? So now we want to try to get her with the jailer. Remember, forced? This girl is gonna try to loop back to the banner here soon. Oh, she actually got hit. That's wild. Alright, so she's in that room already to pick them up. All in here. Forced Hezi? No. I think we might get a hit here. Oh wait, no. Wow, they got her up. That's wild. Oh, they're injured as hell. Goes here. better have like a god pallet at your disposal here real quick. One, two. There we go. I don't know. Well, just the way Dead by Daylight was meant to be played, guys. You know what time it is. Like, imagine I down that Michaela there, and then it cuts to the endgame Mori. She gets Mori'd, they all lose, I win. Delicious, right? Seems logical, right? Nah. Nah. And don't get me wrong, it's supposed to be a punishment for the killer. Like, they say that openly multiple times already. That it's like it's to punish the killer for playing that way. Then don't incentivize it. Like, why am I handicapping myself so much to play other killers, you know? Like, you feel it. Like, every game gets down to like 1 or like Gen or the end game when you play normal. But when you play like that, you just dominate. Like 9 times out of 10, just completely dominate. I avoid all their garbage. See, you guys see Bubba. I don't see Bubba at all. This is just Harambe I'm staring at here. You guys used the Harambe emote like 1,500 times the day that I put it out. Oh, that's crazy. You know, I got fucking like giga spammed in chat. Also, oh wait, I don't think Shadal maybe is here. 100 survivors versus 1 Harambe. For Rainy. Poor Wiener Dredge. Heck. I can't be the only one who crashed out over maps and keys, right? Like, other people had to pick up on how that's going to be very problematic, I would hope. We did. We fought hard for Wiener Dredge. Those bastards tried to censor everything we ever wanted to do in life. I really would prefer not to start my first chase at Killer Shack. The victim's been claimed. We protect. You understand? Protection. Bro, all you gotta do is play Survivor or solo queue and just watch what your teammates do. They're never making optimal decisions, but Swifts always do, right? Like, Swifts are constantly always making optimal choices because they root out the people that are dumb. And they play with the tryhards, at least at high MMR. Hey! Yeah, there's very few like really like good tryhards in solo queue. Because they get annoyed at their teammates and they would rather play with like a group or something, you know? This poor girl, she goes obviously new to the game, so what the fuck is going on? Most protect. Don't do it. So if they come in here, my goal is to block the window, right? If they go to save her. For Harambe! That's right, I protect. They're leaving. Good. Now you know who Harambe is. Nah, there's nothing here bannable. Not holding the game hostage in any way. It's a little just toxic from one person's perspective, depending on how they want to like think about it. But honestly, most people don't seem to get annoyed by this. I think it's funny. I think it's because it's Bubba. Bubba kind of gets like a free pass to do weird shit in Dead by Daylight. I would have a lot less pain and suffering if they did that. Nice, A-Train. And soon freedom awaits you. Don't you crawl away, we protect. Oh yeah. Stop hurting yourself. Report for anti-play. Getting reported for anti-play was one of the most devastating moments of my entire career. He's got a barbecue thing on. Well. Saute. Primate salt. Survivors will literally hold M1 on a generator the entire match, never move, never do anything but sit there and hold M1. They literally have an option in the options menu to where you don't even have to hold the button down. You can just press it and it'll just stay connected. And you like, if you bring the right toolbox, you can literally leave the room while you're doing the gen. That's Survivor gameplay, right? But like me standing over top of somebody is like despicable human gameplay. How could you do that? How could you be such a horrible person? I bet your whole life in real life is terrible. Okay, dude. Like, holy shit. Let's relax a little bit, huh? Like, what I did there is about 10 times more engaging than working on a generator, but like... You got called smelly. We're doing basement trapper. Survivors always take it like way too personal. I don't know. I think it makes sense when you're new to the game. Like you take things personal because you feel like, oh my god, they're so unfair. Like how can this happen? But like this is like high MMR. Like what are we, like? Are we still crying 4,000 or 5,000 hours into game? Like into playing the game. Like most of these guys on average have about 5,000 MMR hours in the game. Like, are we still crying? Still? Like, come on now. Let's relax a little bit. Over, like, the most basic shit. Yeah, I agree, man. Like, this build I just ran on Pinhead with Forever Entwined and Agitation. Holy shit, that feels good. It actually feels like how it should be. I think like these should not really be perks anymore. Like, to be honest, like this should just be how it is in the game. Like that feels so good. The only problem is if you run a build like, if you run perks like that, you're pretty much giving up all your gen defense. Like brutal strength, agitation, forever entwined. I think these two should be base kit. Maybe like brutal, maybe not. Superior, definitely not. Superior completely would break the game if it was base kit. But this is just like, if you want real quality of life in the game, like, do agitation and forever entwined. Why am I spending 45 seconds getting us, like, picking up a survivor and bringing them to a hook? That's, like, out of my way, you know? Because a lot of times you don't even have a choice what hook you want to use. And you have to go the wrong direction. And there's 3 other survivors working on gens while you're doing that. So, like, your 20 seconds to pick them up and take them to a hook, it has to be multiplied by 3. That's 1 minute of gens they get to work on while you're carrying somebody's ass to a hook. The only, like, gen defense build I feel like I've had, like, some luck, some value with is this one. Pain Res with Deadman Switch, Corrupt Intervention, and then Agitation to make sure you get the, not only faster hooks, obviously, but also the Pain Res is more consistently on the people you down. Usually, by the end of the game, there's going to be one survivor you've never hooked, because there's always that one survivor, right, that you just aren't able to hook because either they're ratting or they're always running to super unfavorable places and you just don't want to deal with them. But yeah, if you can get 3 Deadman switches off, and that's only considering the Pain Res Deadman switches, you could also still get value out of every hook with Deadman switch. I think it's really good, actually. Yeah, that's why this is a good combo, because like you hit it with Pain Res, so it explodes, instantly loses 20% of total progress, and then Deadman Switch keeps it blocked, so they have to find another gen. 1 minute is really brutal. Like, you have to go find another generator. You can't just stand there for a minute and do nothing. So I do think this is probably the current best gen defense build in the game, for consistency's sake. If you're like a really, really strong killer, you could maybe give up Corrupt for something else. But I think, like, if your time to down is a bit rough at the start, Corrupt is going to give you a huge early game advantage. Or not advantage, but equalize it. Well, I will say this, though. When the change comes out to the game, which I still am going on the record saying I don't think they're going to go through with it. Here, let me actually show it to you guys so you know what I'm talking about. Is it here? No. All right, let me get the other one. I think it should be here. Is it here? Okay. So you'll see here spawn rules and map offering balancing, right? So what they mean by spawn rules is right now there's no logic when the survivors spawn into a match, right? So if you load into like Ormond, for example, in the middle of the map, there's a good chance that all 4 survivors are going to spawn in a different corner, which means they're working on 4 different gens 1,000 miles apart from each other, and you're just going to lose that game. So what they're going to say they're going to do is they're going to make it to where all survivors spawn within 12 meters of each other. So they're all kind of in a relatively similar spot. They're not going to go through with it. It's the only... Well, the map offering one is a killer buff too, to some degree, but it does go both ways. But the spawn rolls one is the only thing that is specifically 100% a killer buff, and it's a huge killer buff. Like, it's a really, really important one, because it just means that matches aren't completely rigged against you anymore just because of RNG. They're not going to go through with it. I really don't believe it. You're going to see, like, I don't want to name names, but I really think there's going to be some very prominent content creators in the DVD space that always do this when stuff like this comes out that's like a true killer buff. They have super fair killer buff, by the way. They're going to say this is super unfair for solo queue. Solo queue is already the weakest thing in the game. How can you dare to do this to solo queue? Poor solo queue, guys. Like, we can't do this to the poor solo queue survivors. Like, they're just so innocent and helpless. We have no choice but to, you know, to revert this change, because it's just too devastating. Watch it happen. Watch it happen. I've already kind of got accustomed to this, like how this community works in the content creation space, and that's 100% is what is gonna get cried. And then you know how that goes. When the biggest creators say stuff like that, it gets mimicked everywhere. So they'll mimic it. It'll be a huge thing on Twitter. This can't go through. It'll ruin solo queue. Solo queue will never win another game ever again. How dare you? The devs will step in. They'll say, okay, we're reverting that to... I don't think that they'll revert it completely, but they're going to up it to like at least one other survivor will have to spawn within 24 meters of another survivor, which will basically be nothing. That won't solve the problem. Dead by solo queue gaslight, yeah. But you'll see it. I really don't think it'll go through. I really don't see it. That's my prediction on it, that behavior will roll it back due to big content creators and community outrage on Twitter and Reddit. I can beat most Swifts in basically every solo queue game, so it's all right to have a nearly impossible game in 1 in 10 games. Yeah, but like, I think it's a little bit deeper than just winning or losing, right? Like, I can beat most of the Swifts I play against too, but the match quality is garbage, right? Like, if I'm not playing an S tier killer, I have to play in a super shitty way. And by making something, so what happens is you get conditioned, right, to be, I'm gonna play the best I can. I'm gonna bring in, you know, whatever it is I bring in. I'm gonna come in playing as hard as I can, and because you're preparing for that one game that happens every 10 matches, because you know that's just how humans are, competitive people. So what happens is you come in and you go against a solo queue team 9 out of 10 times and you just destroy them, right? Because they're not nearly in the same league as what Swift can do. It's just extraordinary gap between what a solo queue team can do and what a Swift team can do. So it actually ends up not affecting the quality of matches like severely. It makes solo queue shit. Like, Swift causes a huge rift in the game, but nobody is willing to acknowledge it, right? Because it's like this sort of taboo thing to acknowledge it, that they're broken. And then the devs come out and they'll say something like, well, the killers have like a 60% kill rate, but that doesn't explain anything, right? Like, inside of a... like, how do those matches play out? You know, like, does the killer get 1 or 2 hooks before the Swift like completes 4 generators? Like, this is just really silly, stupid stuff that I feel like any other like serious developer, especially a game that has MMR in it, would have addressed it, but they just refuse to do it because, like, in their minds, like, the only way you could do it is with a action speed debuff, which would hurt casual Swifts severely as well. And I get that, which is why I kind of try to develop the whole currency system idea, because the currency system idea allows us to nerf not only Swift, but also the opposite of Swift, which is Blight and Nurse, right? Like, these S tier killers that turn the survivors basically into like AI in their single player game. And yeah, like, we just kind of get into this gameplay loop where you're always in your mind thinking, I'm playing against a super efficient team, I need to get this guy out of the game as fast as possible, turn the match into a 3v1, be super strategic, and it just makes for a super unhealthy game compared to what I used to play, right? Like, when I started playing Dead by Daylight, I would slap on Hex Ruin as my only gen defense perk, and then I would have 3 perks to have fun with and sort of synergize my build out. And then when I would go into a match, as long as Hex Ruin was up, I knew I could keep going for like chase after chase after chase, get 12 hooks, didn't matter, because I had Hex Ruin. I knew my gens were protected. But then once Hex Ruin got destroyed, then I was like, okay, now Hex Ruin is destroyed. Now I have to start playing a little bit more aggressive and get somebody dead, because now the gens are just gonna like explode, right? And but now we're in this super future version of DBD with MMR, and you have to run like full sweaty meta because you know you're playing against full sweaty meta and there's no real good like true strong gen defense perk, so you have to not only use the like super gutted gen defense perks, but you also have to play in like a cringe way on top of it, because it's just not enough. Like you're not gonna win by going for chases over and over and over again. No. Why people have trouble noticing when a team isn't very serious? I feel like it's fairly easy. Maybe that's just you. I can notice it sometimes, but like the vast majority of the time I stream overnight in EU, so like the real, they call them the stumping hours, people call them, but it's basically where like you play against the most consistent tryhards. And if you're in a situation where you're just constantly playing against the most competitive like comp style players over and over and over again with very little reprieve from it, even like one bad person on a team, the gens will usually still fly like super. Yeah, I call them full poopy diaper hours, but there's like a term for it used in the DVD community. I just forget what it is. But yeah, it's like you play in that area of time. Even in NA, you're going to notice it a little bit if you play in the middle of the night. But yeah, it's really, really bad in EU. D-Gen hours, that's it. Yeah, the D-Gen hours. That's what they say. YouTube chat and Twitch chat both said it at the same time. Degenerate hours they're brutal. And a lot of the people in those like eras, are in those time arrows, I should say, are in the comp community. A lot of them, not necessarily comp players, but they're in the discords, they're doing 1v1 scrims, you know, they're those type of people, and they're always usually pretty toxic as well. So the more you play against that, the more I think you get sort of pushed into having a comp mindset. It's not too healthy. The best time to play is prime time, when everybody gets home from work, wherever your region is, because when everybody gets home from work and home from school, the the player count like shoots up, and your chances of playing against a sweaty team are like dramatically reduced. I am American, but I live in Germany, so that's why I get to, I've seen both sides of it. I just didn't get to see as much of MMR as I would have liked to, because like MMR came out around the time that I moved to Germany. But it's definitely not the same game it used to be. I used to go for 12 hooks every match. I used to run like 1 or 2 gen defense perks, win every match, like you know, playing in the fairest way possible. Didn't really like comp DVD at all. Still don't like it, but I understand it now at least. Lucky. Have you ever watched the devs recently when they did like the 2v8 thing, and they had the devs playing as the killers versus like the content creators? Like they got so insanely obliterated that it was actually embarrassing. And then in like the follow-up matches, the content creators started purposely playing super dumb as they could to actually make it like somewhat fair, because they realized that it was just like super mean how they dominated them so hard in the first matches. True plays during work hours too, which explains why he gets so many sweaty matches. Yeah, he starts out early, so he starts out kind of where the degen hours are ending. So he gets like the like the beginning half of his stream is going to be like super sweat, and then like the last half of his stream will usually start to taper off more, and you'll play against less sweaty people. He refuses to play on EU. Yeah, when I play with my American friends, we usually try to get someone who's on like Eastern servers, like US East. That way I can play and they can play if they're on West, and then the person who's East is host, and we all have like a pretty reasonable ping that we can have a good time. But I would say the difference with NA East is like insane. Just like while playing Survivor in a 4-man. I don't do it too often, but when I have done it, it's like night and day compared to EU. The smart thing to do is play during the evenings. You're able to have a lot more freedom with your builds without just getting absolutely dumpstered every time. Like if you play during degen hours with like silly builds in EU, you're probably gonna lose like every match you play. Unless you're an S tier killer. Zen, are you gonna be down to spend all your blood points if the blood point thing isn't out when he releases? We don't know too much about I think South America goes into North America a decent amount from what I understand. But Asia, yeah, we don't know too much about Asia. I played in it one time or two times when I was in Malaysia recently, and I definitely noticed that they were pretty tryhard too. And they were super toxic, but I don't know, like they were all speaking English, which I mean makes sense. Malaysia and Singapore are like English speaking countries, but they were super toxic in in-game chat, even in Duvier. Yeah, you'll do it. Oh shit. This is gonna be savage. I'm rooting for you. You're gonna need like a time-lapse video of the whole thing. Russian Swifts are really something. Yeah, Russians are really, really savage. But that's kind of a thing that I have like a small hypothesis on with Swifts in EU is that like in EU, if I got in the car and I drove like an hour in any direction and get out, they're already speaking a completely different language than from where I started. Like there is like 1,000 languages in EU. So I think what happens a lot of the time is that like these communities become very tight because there's just such a severe language barrier in EU compared to America, where everyone speaks English across the entire massive continent. So, well, not continent, but country. And EU just has a sweatier, like a more competitive mindset, I should say. Like on average, I think there's more competitive people in EU. Like in America, it's a little bit more like gaming should be for fun. And in EU, it feels like you should want to, like, winning is what you want to do. Is the mindset. Like, win, win, win. EU solo queue is absolute brain dead teammate and killer. You only get matched against Swift. Yeah, you can notice that. I don't know how it is in America, but I assume it's no better. But yeah, there's a lot more Swifts. And when you play against solo queue, it's usually very noticeable that you're playing against solo queue. Like, very noticeable. And you can play more chill in those matches, for sure. In the past, the EU countries wanted to win wars. Now it's DBG matches. Win anything. Win. But yeah, the dev livestream had some like cool things in it, I guess. But it was a bit of a bummer that they didn't go into more detail about like the anniversary event or Five Nights at Freddy's. Like I felt like they had so many people watching them that it felt like a big missed opportunity, and I think they know that, which is a bit of a red flag, right? Because if they're not showing off like the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff now, like, you know, when they have the most people watching them, the most non-DBD people watching them that are actually going to be coming to Dead by Daylight, like you want to be showing people that stuff, I think, right? Pablo, much appreciated for growing some muttons. I'd be like said I didn't get mad at some games, but it's been a long time since I faced a game that put me on guard for several games to force slowdown. What killer do you play, Smite? Like the majority of the time, like who would you say are your like mains? Some games winning is taking super seriously. Probably like NFL and fighting games, right? Like fighting games are always taken super seriously. I think they're like by far the most competitive games out there. I don't think you're even like interested in that type of game unless you're hyper competitive. Probably the same thing with like RTS games too. You liked this one way more than their scripted streams? True. This is better. Their scripted streams are very boring to watch. Let's edge them with screenshots, yeah. Do you guys think that people on Twitter have figured out what the next chapter is going to be yet? They said they left hints everywhere, and you know how like Twitter is, so... Oh. Is it The Walking Dead? That would make sense, right? Rick and Michonne, 2 new survivors, no killer. People are thinking it's Walking Dead. They said in the live stream that they that there's another chapter coming out after Five Nights at Freddy's with 2 survivors and it's licensed. There was a quote from The Walking Dead. What was the quote? Was it the ones who live? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Well, they went ham on that, didn't they? I knew DVD Twitter doesn't play around. That's a bit of a bummer because if they ever did a Walking Dead thing, I would have really loved to have Negan as like the killer. Like that would have been the highlight of the entire thing for me. Survivor skins are cool, but man, imagine if they make Negan a survivor. Ugh. No, don't do it. Which time is best to play casually? Prime time in your region, so like late evening-ish, you know, like 6 p.m. to like 9 p.m. would be like the chillest time. Once it gets up to like 11 or midnight, that's when it's starting to transfer into degen hours. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be Rick and Michonne. Imagine you're hearing the Negan whistle as Survivor, you're cooked. I know, right? What a missed opportunity. And now I'm terrified they're gonna make him a skin for Survivor. No more Negan. But anyways, guys, gonna go ahead and call it there. Just kind of wanted to stream the live stream and talk about it a little bit, which I think we had a decently good time doing, right? Some concerns, kind of curious to hear what other people have to say about it too, not just myself. And yeah, looking forward to not hopefully having Negan as a survivor and only the other people. And if you guys like, I can do another stream for Five Nights at Freddy's live stream, which is apparently coming out next week as well. Lucille is a perk and the survivors can hit the killer for a 12-second stun. No, maybe. Alrighty, guys. Have a good one, and yeah, peace.
Hey there, kid. Are you a gamer? Yeah. Do you ever get so into the game that you end up pooping your pants? Yeah, all the time. Well, then I have a product for you. Gamer diapers. Oh my god! Pampers Premium added a new gentle touch line plus Aloe. Its special layer of protection helps keep